Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 16 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're gonna hop right into today's episode, continuing to use the team that I won Anaheim Regionals with. If you have not seen the last couple of episodes featuring this team, definitely do check it out. Yesterday's was really exciting. We had two games that both came down to the wire, so been enjoying playing with this team, and I am planning on doing some other stuff with it as well, and then probably moving on to a new team in the future. But the next couple of days are pretty busy. We actually find Zaki from the US with a rating of 1683. I'm pretty sure this is Ryuzaki, aka Trista. She's a really well-known player, won 2 regional championships, I think she won regionals in 2011, qualified for worlds in 2011 and 2013, and we hang out a bunch at the events back when I was in the East Coast, so she's a really good player, and I'm excited to face her. She's rocking a team of Zapdos, Groudon, Salamence, Kangaskhan, Kyogre, and Lucario. So I know she went, I think, 6-2 at both of the winter regionals she attended, so just missing out on the top 8 cut. But her team's actually really interesting, and I know she's actually been streaming with it the last couple of days. If you guys want to give her a follow, I'll link her Twitter in the description below. I believe she is planning on doing more streaming as well. But she's got the Zapdos and the Lucario. Those are the two Pokemon that stand out the most. The Zapdos here is actually a threat to Bronzong because it can roar it out. Lucario, I believe, probably has the Focus Sash, and I think it has Follow Me as well, so kind of used for redirection support. So let's see. Bronzong's still kind of tempting as a lead because it can actually just get offense off against Salamence or Kangaskhan, but otherwise not too great, so maybe not. I actually don't like this matchup too much for me, especially because she can roar. Also have to figure out which Mega Evolution I want to bring. Mawile I definitely think is the better answer here. And I feel like because I've got Smeargle, she'll probably bring Kangaskhan. So I'm still going to go with Mawile and Bronzong to get the initial Intimidate off, and depending on whether she leads with a Primal or not, I can switch out into one of my Primals to cancel out the Water or Fire type attacks. She's also running Dual Primal, which I think is definitely one of the worst matchups for this team. Obviously, you guys are both running Primal Pokemon, but you don't know the speed of your opponent's Primals, and that kind of ruins the Trick Room strategy. So we see the Kangaskhan Zapdos lead here against the Mawile Bronzong, which I would say is definitely pretty ideal here because I get the Intimidate off against Kangaskhan. Zapdos here, of course, can go for the Roar, but I wonder if she's not going to go for it knowing that I probably know she has Roar. So I've got some mind games, and given that we see these two Pokemon, she probably has both Kyogre and Groudon on the back. So if I can get up Trick Room and maybe Skill Swap, Levitate onto Groudon, that would be pretty nice. Though this first turn, I think I'm just going to Protect, and I'm going to go straight for a Gyro Ball onto Kangaskhan. She might be inclined to switch out here, but we'll see. She actually stays in, okay. I think a switch out would actually be more beneficial towards her. The main question is, does Kangaskhan go for the Fake Out onto Bronzong? Like, she could make a great play here and Fake Out and Thunderbolt. I don't know if she has Power Up Punch also. Mawile could have attacked there, but I don't want to risk it. I kind of want to just see if I can get a Gyro Ball off here. She does go for the Fake Out onto Mawile, and looks like Zapdos actually is going to go for the Roar, as I do get a Gyro Ball off, but she will be making me switch out with the Roar. So it's a really clever solution to Trick Room due to the priority of both Roar and Trick Room, but that allows me to actually bring in Groudon, which is pretty ideal here. So I didn't really lose anything on that turn. Mawile didn't take any damage. I've conserved Intimidate if I do want to continue to use it. Let's see. So this next turn, Mawile is kind of free to just play rough. I wonder if Zapdos is going to want to switch out into like Kyogre though. So I could Precipice Blades covering the Kyogre switch in actually. Or I could switch Groudon back out so that when I pick up a knockout, I'll still have weather control. Let's see. I think her best play is honestly to just sacrifice Pokemon so she gets the free switch into Kyogre, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm actually going to... Or maybe I can play Rev Zapdos and Protect here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, she actually does withdraw the Kangaskhan. Is she going out into Kyogre? Wow. I thought that was too risky of a switch. But I guess I could have capitalized off that if I just attacked. So that was a nice play by her end. Like, I could have just play roughed Kangaskhan since Kangaskhan most definitely doesn't... Or, I mean, you shouldn't say most definitely since sometimes they carry Protect. But chances are it doesn't carry Protect. So a play rough and a Precipice Blades into that slot would be really beneficial. But it looks like she's actually going for the double switch, which is pretty interesting. Is Groudon coming in? Yeah. So yeah, if I just play rough Precipice Blades there, I think I would have just won the game outright, but I ended up playing a bit too passive there. Really good play by her, though. However, this does mean that it actually cancels out her Kyogre's Rain, which is also pretty interesting. But Groudon is looking pretty threatening right now with the ability to go for Precipice Blades and whatnot. I am going to get a Play Rough off against it, but obviously really wish I just went for the Play Rough Precipice Blades play here. Ended up playing way too safe there. I really thought she'd just stay in with both Zapdos and Kangaskhan, but instead she makes a really risky double switch, and it works out really well in her favor. So Groudon's Protect doesn't do much, and Play Rough comes out. And the reason why I protected with Groudon is because, like I said, I didn't want to get an attack off, and I didn't want to switch out either, so that was my best option. The reason why I didn't want to get an attack off is if I attacked, then I just would have picked up a knockout, and at the time I didn't want that, because then Kyogre comes in and you're free to Water Spout or Origin Pulse. So this is the worst case. I mean, she hasn't done any damage thus far. But now the question is, does she predict the Bronzong switching? Because what I could do is just protect Mawile, switch Groudon out into Bronzong. She'll probably want to Ice Beam the Groudon slot. Wonder if she has Eruption also. I think I'm just going to protect, and I'm going to play a little bit risky and switch into Bronzong here. Oh, she actually withdraws Groudon. Oh, I like that. So you get rid of the Sun, I believe, as Kangaskhan comes back in. Actually, no, the Sun doesn't go up because my Groudon is still up, but I wonder if she predicts that and goes for a Water type attack with her Kyogre. That would be a really great read. Let's see. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit passive with the Protects and the switches, so I need to start playing more aggressively. And she actually just launches the Water Spout off, even though maybe she thought that her Sun was activated on Groudon then, so she was going for that play. Which would be interesting. Okay. So, I can obviously switch back out into my Groudon. I mean, you can fake out Mawile. I think actually the play to make is to stay in with Mawile. I'm going to attack the Kyogre, and I'm going to switch back out into my Groudon. Yeah, I've been getting pretty outplayed so far. Like, this game could have been over basically one or two turns. Not one or two turns ago, but I mean, I guess that last turn, the Groudon switch on my end is somewhat obvious, so she was predicting that, went for the Water Spout, which is also another great read on her end. But at least by bringing my Groudon back in, that means she can't Water Spout, so the Kyogre is either forced to switch out, and Kangaskhan's also being pressured. So this is kind of a big turn. It comes down to whether Kangaskhan goes for a Fake Out. No, she actually does go for the low kick onto the Groudon slot. So trying to pick up the knockout there, most likely. We'll probably see a Water Spout come out from Kyogre. Yep. So that's not going to work, and Play Rough here is going to connect with the Kyogre. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't quite pick up the knockout, but that's fine by me. I should know that I got a critical hit with Play Rough onto the Groudon earlier, so that's also getting whittled down pretty quickly. Given like Kyogre here can't really do much other than Ice Beam, she'll most likely want to switch out Kyogre. A Kangaskhan here could choose to say go for a low kick or a double edge into Groudon, which I think would be a pretty solid play. I think I'm going to play it safe here. I'm just going to Iron Head Kangaskhan, and I'm going to protect the Groudon here. Though I could Precipice Blades, I just don't know whether I can survive a double edge at this range, and I don't think I can. So probably withdraw Kyogre here, I think. But if Kyogre stays in, I'm more than okay with that. Another good play might be to protect Kyogre or stay in with Kyogre. Oh, she actually does withdraw the Kyogre, okay. I think her safest play is to switch out Kyogre and then just go for like a double edge into the Groudon slot. But like I said, I didn't know whether I could survive the double edge. Maybe I should have just taken the risk, though. Maybe I should have attacked into the Kyogre slot. She does go for the return. Wow, predicting the protect, going into Mawile. Great read. So she's been making some really aggressive predictions thus far. You know, game's still far from over, but very nicely played on her end. Here's the Iron Head into Kangaskhan. But now she's kind of free to spam Precipice Blades. So I actually wonder if she has Thunder on Kyogre, because if not, then what this game can come down to is my Kyogre coming in and just going for a Water Spout, because then I can Sucker Punch Kyogre as well, which might be able to pick up the knockout in itself. But it's actually Zapdos coming in here. Actually, yeah, I should have considered that. Zapdos is a really strong option here. Maybe it's enough to win her the game at this point. Especially if she has Precipice Blades. Because all you have to do is just Precipice Blades and Thunderbolt. So she put herself in a really good position. Let's see, what can I do here? I mean, I guess if she misses Precipice Blades, I also win the game. Hate relying on that, but do I have another option, really? You probably Precipice Blades Thunderbolt with the Groudon slot. I might be hoping for a Precipice Blades miss at this point. So I'll Protect and go for the Precipice Blade. Yeah, she played really well. Especially that last turn. She read all my Protects, basically. Normally I wouldn't play so safe, but I thought it'd be okay. She does Thunderbolt into Mawile. Oh, she has Earthquake on Groudon. So not even having to risk the potential miss of Precipice Blades. And that is going to be able to pick up the knockout onto my Groudon. Huh, Earthquake. That's pretty cool. So I can bring in Kyogre, I guess. But with Thunderbolt and with Bronzong having taken so much damage, setting up Trick Room also is an option, especially because she's got Roar, so... Wow. Very, very well played. And this game, I think, is a perfect testament to why you shouldn't play so safe, especially against a player that might know your playstyle a little bit better. Normally against someone I feel like I don't know, I wouldn't be playing as safe, but yeah, Trissa was just making some really hard aggressive reads and really risky as well, but you know, she called all of them and she's consistently outplayed me in this game. Let's see, now you just Earthquake, Thunderbolt. I guess one way I can maybe get out of this is switching out into my Bronzong, so the following turn it forces her to Thunderbolt the Bronzong as opposed to my Kyogre. Though she can make another good read and potentially just Thunderbolt the Mawile slot here. Sucker Punch critical hit onto Groudon could also win me the game. But that's pretty cool to see Earthquake on Groudon. Not exactly the most common move given that Precipice Blades is stronger. But obviously 100% accurate, especially when you have Zapdos. Okay, so she does go for the Thunderbolt Earthquake play this time around. I could risk the double Protect. This game is still definitely not over. Let's see. So the question here is, do I go for the double? Because if I'm her, I know that I can just Thunderbolt Earthquake Kyogre. I could also potentially switch out into Mawile. The main question basically comes down to, who do you Thunderbolt here? If you Thunderbolt Bronzong, you can Earthquake Kyogre, but then I get a Water Spout off. I think her plays the double up into Kyogre. That's what I would do. Oh, maybe not. Oh. I went for the Trick Room Skull. That's not the play. Oh, she withdraws Groudon. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, is she gonna Thunderbolt the Bronzong? Yeah. That's a clever solution. So... kind of risk. I mean, maybe I should have Water Spotted there then. So I get a Scald off, but that obviously doesn't do much. But, I mean, it does allow me to bring in Mawile. Timer's also ticking down here, which is scary. I guess you Thunderbolt Kyogre here. Yeah, if I Water Spotted there, I also might have been able to win. Let's see. I can't afford Kyogre getting an attack off, so I feel like I kind of have to Sucker Punch it, but she could obviously just Protect. Could also play Rough Zapdos. Could double Protect here on my end to scout her attacks out. But I don't think that's the play. Oh. I'm just going to Sucker Punch Kyogre. Scald Zapdos. Yeah, so she is going to let me knock out the Kyogre here, but that means Zapdos gets a Thunderbolt off. But who does it target? Gonna target down Mawile. Is that enough to knock me out? It's not. Oh, maybe I should have just Water Spouted there then. Okay, so Scald also does good damage, but yeah, I don't know, I just didn't want to deal with the misses. I mean, now she can Earthquake and Thunderbolt. This might come down to timer, actually. Oh, there were so many points in this game where I could have won, but I've been playing so safe today. So safe. Normally I play a lot more aggressive. Let's see. So she knows Sucker Punch will KO Zapdos. So she might predict that. Go for something like a Roar. I wonder if she has Roost as well. That could change the game up and win the game for her. I'm double protecting here. But this could just lose me the game if she does have Roost on Zapdos. What does she go for? Oh, she just Thunderbolted into Kyogre, and here's the Earthquake. So does she go for a Thunderbolt again? That's the question. Oh my gosh, the mind games. This is it, I think. Sucker Punch. If I Sucker Punch and just Ice Beam Groudon, I win. If she Thunderbolts again. I wouldn't Thunderbolt here if I were her, but I'm gonna go for it, I think. I'm gonna Sucker Punch and Ice Beam Zapdos. Oh, nice, I get it off. So that means Zapdos is knocked out. She gets an Earthquake off, but I get an Ice Beam off, and then I think I win on timer here. Which is obviously a win condition you should always be playing for. Earthquake shouldn't do an absurd amount to Kyogre. Gets a crit onto Mawile, not the Pokemon she needed the crit on. Here's the Ice Beam. And now I should just have more HP than Groudon. Another Ice Beam actually knocks her out. But I don't want to take the risk of Earthquake getting a crit here. I think I could survive. Let's see. It did how much damage? 78? So I most likely can take another one here. But with timer being 100% win condition, you know, you don't want to risk it. So that's something that VGC players obviously have to play for because the battle dragged on so long. Now that the battle timers reach 0, I actually still end up winning this game. So yeah, that was kind of a ridiculous game. Like, at the end, I don't think needed the timer to win, but, you know, you take those 100% win conditions because, you know, why not? And that was a really good game. I mean, that was the full 15 minutes, and, oh my gosh. I don't feel like that feels like a game where I was consistently outplayed, but in the end, I was still able to eke out because I feel like I had a pretty significant team matchup. But she played really well there. Like, that's a win where I feel like, wow, like, based off how I played, like, I don't feel like I really deserved it, but a team matchup plus just some pretty key plays there ended up winning the game. So ultimately, I thought the game was definitely over on my side, but once Kyogre and Bronzong were able to be out together, forcing the target onto Bronzong allowed me to regain some momentum. So we're going to get our second opponent there, and that was a doozy. But here we've got Kyogre, Xerneas, Salamence, Kangaskhan, Ditto, and Cresselia. So pretty interesting team from my opponent's side here. I do like the Bronzong, I think, as the lead. Yeah, I think Bronzong's really good here. Both Salamence and Mawile are pretty solid, but I do think Mawile's the Mega Evolution to bring here, given that my opponent's got Salamence, Kangaskhan, Xerneas, and Cresselia. So I'm going to lead Bronzong, Mawile once again with Kyogre and Groudon again. So I'm going to go with the same 4 Pokemon. I think that's a pretty solid option. Otherwise, let's see. Yeah, don't really want Smeargle too much in this. And Salamence, not exactly the best option because immediately when you see Cresselia on your opponent's team, you always want to think twice about bringing Salamence because Cresselia can obviously just Ice Beam. So that's one reason not to bring it. And then if your opponent has a Xerneas, you're also a little bit wary, especially with Fake Out Pressure from Kangaskhan. Not that that's, you know, Salamence is still solid, but you do have to be careful for a little bit more. And meanwhile, Mawile can survive a little bit longer since it's not weak to Ice Beams and whatnot. But we see the Cresselia Kyogre lead here, which is actually really threatening. If I were her, I would skill swap. Though Kyogre should be faster than Cress. So skill swapping actually doesn't accomplish anything. She has the Trick Room option as well. This is a doozy. I'm gonna switch out into my Groudon. Though, if her Crest is faster than Kyogre, Skill Swap just wins the game. So maybe this is too risky. I'm gonna go for it and play rough the Kyogre. I'm guessing she's a Trick Room team. She could protect Trick Room. She could Water Spout Trick Room. Skill Swap Water Spout. I mean, normally you build your Cresselia to be faster than Kyogre under Trick Room, so then you can Skill Swap, so it wouldn't make much sense for her to be faster right now, though maybe she doesn't even have Trick Room and she's built like that. So I'm gonna get the Sun up. Let's see if Kyogre protects. Mawile Mega Evolves, getting rid of Intimidate. Oh man, that last game was still a doozy. And she is faster. Oh no. GG. Wow. Props to you. Props to you, sir. What else could I have done there? I guess the play is to Sucker Punch Kyogre and Trick Room, right? But yeah, Crest Kyogre is actually a abysmal matchup for this team. I guess my opponent's team composition didn't scream Trick Room as much either. So that, yeah, there's 0% chance I win this game now. Yeah, I don't even have a way to touch the Kyogre. Well played. So yeah, I took a pretty big gamble. I mean, it wasn't a huge gamble, right? But I guess I should have... I mean, that was such a big risk to take, because if it doesn't work out in my favor, then I'd lose the game. I'll just Water Spout Trick Room, I guess. It's over. She's got Helping Hand too, just going for the overkill now. Poor Kyogre. Just gonna get... Oh my gosh. I literally lost this game in 3 turns because of the switching. How would I have been able to win this one? Given how poor this matchup is. I guess Sucker Punch Kyogre and Trick Room, but in a best of 1, that's like almost an impossible prediction to make. She does go for the Helping Hand. Oh my gosh, that was the most wrecked I've ever been in VGC 2016. Yeah, I mean, the game would have been 100% different if Cresselia was slower than Kyogre, but my opponent not rocking the typical Trick Room Skill Swap Cresselia there, and I got caught off guard by that. That's why best of 1 in this format's so scary and so volatile. So a 15-minute game followed by a literally 2-minute destruction. That was not even a game. That was literally my opponent just being like, "Bam, you're wrecked." Credits to my opponent though, and I think if my opponent had Magic Coat, then I actually think there was like, I guess I would have had to bring Salamence in this matchup, but like, I almost never bring Salamence, but maybe I should start bringing it just for fast Cresselia and Kyogre. Yeah. That was pretty crazy, guys. I wish I could get a best of 3 against my opponent, because yeah, I definitely make some adjustments in that, knowing that Cresselia is that fast. 1, I'd probably go for the Trick Room strategy, and 2, knowing that the Kyogre is reliant on Water Spout, I can just Sucker Punch it to bring it into not KO range, but reduce Water Spout's damage, get Trick Room up. But if Cresselia Trick Room, he can also reverse my Trick Room, which is also so tricky. George. That's why the matchup against Cresselia, I think this team actually... Cresselia is a pretty good Pokemon to have against this team. It doesn't do immense damage, but it can skill swap if you've got your own Kyogre and Groudon, which most teams do. You can Ice Beam the Salamence as well. Some potentially have Magic Coat to bounce back Dark Void, so... in a best of 3 against my opponent, I definitely consider bringing Smeargle. But yeah, that was, you guys got to see me get 100% annihilated and wrecked. That maybe might have been the worst loss I've ever had on Road to Ranked. But credits to my opponent, and a really well-constructed strategy there. And yeah, we'll learn from that. But yeah, it's going to be it for this episode. Really intense first game followed by a really quick second game, but still really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a like always if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.